and welcome to another episode of Mindset, Money, Success. And I'm your host, Loraine Marshall. And this week we're talking about a concept called skill stacking and why old skills from years ago actually could be your secret weapon for rebuilding your life today. So I'm sharing how I'm combining my background of charitable trust fundraising from 1999 with high-tech AI tools of 2026 to reclaim my life and my voice after an 11-year manipulationship and 5 years of legal intimidation and litigation abuses. Before we dive into the episode, I have a request. Mindset, Money, Success is about how you think and what you believe is possible. And if you find value in these episodes, please subscribe. And if you know someone who's currently in a similar situation, please share this episode with them. Privately, perhaps, your share could be the exact lifeline they need to hear today. So this week, we're talking about why staying in the game is the greatest success of all. Besides, there is no such thing as an overnight success. Last week, it was my 65th birthday. And yesterday, I found myself feeling like a failure because I've not been able to reach a stable, financially secure situation yet. I'm still a work in progress. But then I looked back at my calendar from the last 5 years. I have fought off 7 false allegations, avoided prison, kept a roof over my head, and managed to publish my first book in English and in Spanish. I set up YouTube accounts, TikTok accounts, and got certified as a trauma-informed coach. Also wrote a business plan, created a pitch deck, and researched to create a financial projection for a business plan, all while learning how to broadcast this message to you. Now, I have a question for all the listeners. Is anyone else in their 40s, 50s, and 60s trying to rebuild their lives after abuse, both emotionally and financially? Women like me who have gone through contested divorce or a discard and economic abuse after years of emotional manipulation and got caught up in the legal system that brushes domestic abuse under the carpet, and legal professionals who are not very helpful. I have a free download that I would like to share with you. It's an AI resource guide, most of which can be used free to start with, because I know how exhausting it is to try and rebuild when your battery is low. And to save you that energy, I've put together this AI resource guide. It's a free download that lists the AI apps that I use regularly and some that I'm just getting started with. You don't have to spend hours doing the research. I've already done that for you. So you can grab that at the link in the show notes. So let me jump back 27 years to 1999. I was 38 years then, and I was lucky to be given the opportunity to learn new skills. After applying for funding as a mature student, a lone parent with 2 teenage daughters after a divorce, I had applied to 2 different funding grants, the Scarman Trust and the Millennium Awards Scheme. Now, in 1999, the Millennium Trust was part of the National Lotteries Charities Board, and the Millennium Commission was distributing the National Lottery funds to mark the year 2000 in the UK. Millennium Awards provided grants to individuals who undertake projects that made a contribution to the local communities. And the Scarman Trust was paying out grants in the early 1990s and early 2000s to individuals and groups to empower local communities. Now, I've been a thinker, a researcher, a creator, and a builder for decades. I was building websites and researching data to help youth and community charities before social media was even a word. My ability to create hasn't changed. Only the tools have. So what is skill stacking? It's not about being the best in the world at one thing. It's about understanding the need for lifelong learning and grabbing opportunities when they present to you. Now, everyone has to start somewhere, and we are not beginners or new starters, and it doesn't matter how old or young we are. The most important thing is that learning new skills can be fun. Now, back then, I spent hours on spreadsheets, researching issues in the local community and writing grant letters and submitting funding bids. I was using the new skills of the day, using computing and Microsoft Office. Now, today, I'm using AI as my digital assistant to do the heavy lifting of those old skills. AI doesn't replace my experience. What it does is enhances and liberates it. Now, Napoleon Hill famously said, in Think and Grow Rich, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Which means that independent thinking is a skill. If you can think and visualize something that you want to create or achieve, that is the first step. Now, with AI, your mind is your oyster, so to speak, because AI allows anyone with limited funds and low creativity, maybe due to high stress levels and anxiety, to enter a few prompts and then answer a few questions and come up with a product, a service, or even a new website. So even while battling with things that you have no control over, like a lengthy divorce battle or criminal litigation, learning how to use AI can help you. Now, I've spent years in a legal battle fighting for my freedom. I don't have time to learn complex new skills, like coding, for example. These AI tools allowed me to keep going, even when my energy was low and my creativity was on the ground. And if I can do this at 65, you can do it too. Now, I used a tool called TurboScribe to help me with this podcast. And by the way, I put that and the other free tools in the guide for you so you don't have to go searching for them. So let me do a quick audit of some of the AI that I'm currently using. First, Google Gemini. I use this nearly every day when I have an idea for an article or a question that I want to write an article on. I use the chat to get the information and the sources from the web. Now, when I want to create something and I'm not sure how, I ask for a step-by-step process on how to get the job done. Now, this is fantastic. For example, I created a number of slogan t-shirt designs months ago. And I know that YouTube allows creators to sell print on demand from their monetized channels. I had no clue how to get started. Within a few minutes, Gemini had found the process, recommended a couple of print-on-demand stores, and even sourced a couple of videos that walked through how to do it. And it took me 2 days to work through that process and have the t-shirts listed within my YouTube channel. Perplexity is another AI chatbot. It's very good at research-based tasks. Now, I've used this AI to search out Spanish laws. It's even written emails for me in Spanish. Now, Notebook LM. Now, this is another Google AI tool, and it works with sources that you can add yourself. Examples: websites, pasted text, documents that are in your drive, and YouTube videos. The options to create video explainers from the sources, audio explainers, infographics, and even slide decks. There's much, much more. This gives you so many options to turn your knowledge and use other people's knowledge to create articles for blogs, audios for podcasts, or even create courses and ebooks that you can eventually sell. Now, one of the most life-changing tools I've found lately is called Statute Finder. It was created by a male survivor named Raphael. I found Raphael on LinkedIn and was recommended before it became an app. It was in a ChatGPT, and I used it. And it's a GPT-based app that helps you find specific laws and the time limits, the statute of limitations for any abuse that you faced. The problem that I encountered was that solicitors often lacked education in coercive control, emotional abuse, and economic abuse. And legal aid is a lottery if you are facing many barriers to legal advice. Now, this AI solution, Statute Finder, helps you. Once you chat with it, you give the information, and it gives back the statutes for your particular country. It will ask you where you live, where you are, and you have to just give the state of the place that you are, and then it tailors the information to the exact country. And so I tried that out because obviously cross-border litigation, I could look at the UK, and then I could actually look at the Spanish laws and see the difference between the two places. This is why this is huge, because when you're dealing with financial, psychological abuse, many solicitors don't get it. And if you can't afford a lawyer, you're stuck. So this tool empowers you to walk into a police station, or if you have to go to court, it gives you the exact legal codes that you can use. Now, this is a perfect example of how AI is being used to support those of us who have met with barriers to justice. Full transparency, I just recorded the ending to this show, and when it came to edit it, the video file corrupted and the sound was off. Typical, right? But as someone who's been through all of the things I have in the last 5 years, I know that we have to be resourceful. And so instead of trying to recover the file or start again and remember what I'd said, I decided to let you know I had to do a completely new end to the show. And obviously when things build, we just rebuild, and we have to be resourceful. So let's try it again. So I've talked about how in 1999, which is 27 years ago, I actually got 2 different grants awarded, which then enabled me to then learn some new skills. And I put those skills into working with the local community and raising a lot of money with various different organisations in the place that I was living. And obviously that helped us then to move on through the degree where I ended up, and then I ended up with a job in a local authority for a similar type of job to do with fundraising and European funds. So now that we have this AI and it's like a new thing that we can learn, I mean, lots of people are fearful that, oh, you know, I'm going to be put out of a job, or like other people are saying they've already lost their jobs because of all the automation. Businesses are scaling back with their employees because now they can introduce workflows through AI and have the workflow just does it while, you know, everything's in the background just running automatically. Even to build websites now, what used to take, you know, a week, 2 weeks or whatever, you can just prompt the AI and it can build within, you know, an hour or a couple of hours once you've got your ideas down and you want to edit it, and it's done and it's finished and it's sort of ready to go. It's, you know, minimal viable product. So this is a like pivotal point because we can look and learn these AI tools and implement things to help us to move forward. So if we're now in a hole that we've been left with emotional baggage, we've got a lack of finances, there's always some way of moving forward. And like me, back in 1999, when I applied for those grants, there's obviously opportunities, there's similar types of opportunities to be had. And so that's what we need to think about. That's what we need to look out for. If there's opportunities to apply for funds, and there always is opportunities because lots of people who start businesses have to apply for funds. They go to do a Kickstarter, or they'll do a GoFundMe, or there's different platforms out there to raise funds, to do crowdsourcing, and then there's massive amounts of money that are being handed over to digital businesses. Like they get not just 100,000 or 200,000, you're talking 500,000, 1 million and more. So just because we have been left in a financial bind or a financial hole, it doesn't mean the end. It just means that we have to be resourceful and find a new way forward. And if that means putting a business plan together, putting a financial projection together, putting a pitch deck together, learning to pitch the business to a venture capital company, or to do the videos and put a crowdfund out there, there's always a way, right? And this is what we want to think about. So anyway, just to end the show now, what I want to say is, don't forget to share the episode, and in the link in the description and underneath the video in the show notes, you will find the link to the free guide that I've put together, which gives you information about the AI tools I'm using and the ones that I'm just getting started with. And so if you want to go and have a look at those, don't forget the links in the show notes. And I'll see you on the next episode. So bye for now.